stay humble. Shut your mouth, I'll pop you like a bubble. Keep it shuffle. On your body, hit the Cupid shuffle. Got it scruffle. Steady. I ain't think that through.
Hey, you know what it is. It's your boy Action in the building, baby. Today, man, look. First of all, before we even get into the topic of the video, look, y'all. I am back and better than ever, y'all. Look, this video right here, I'm not even editing this bad boy. My boy Rakudo is. Shout out my guy Rakudo. Get your ass back to work. But with that being said, y'all, as you guys can see, this desk is different. My hair is different, and I got a chain on, bruh. Huh? Another thing I want to address is, yes, Caution is dropping soon, y'all, man. It's dropping soon. It's just, you know... So Trevor Henderson has another creature out here called the long horse. And I ain't gonna lie, bruh. Ain't nothing scary about a long horse. But I heard things about this. I heard that it could be scary. I heard that it's not scary. From what looking at it, it just look a little bony. Look like it need to eat something just a little bit. Now that's where we had to give a huge shout out to my boy Clark I don't know, bro. Because the two videos we're going to be watching today both come from Clark's channel, and I need you guys to subscribe to him. And the first one we're going to be reacting to is the story of Long Horse. So let's go ahead, hop in, and see what they're talking about. Let's get it.
Long Horse, Report 1.
A
horse's skeleton, missing its jaw, legs, and ribs. A neck that extends into infinity, and short, stringy hair.
Bro, first of all, I'm really on your head top, boy. String hair, hay hair, ugly hair looking boy, no jaw. I knew the dude looked ugly with no jaw. They talking about this dude got an infinite neck, bro. What is this, Mr. Fantastic, Mrs. Fantastic neck? I don't even know what I'm talking about, bro. I just said Mrs. Fantastic instead of...
Long Horse is terrifying in appearance and tends to frighten those who run into him by chance. It doesn't help that the creature can always be found near the site of a disaster. It all combines to give Long Horse a bad initial reputation. But the truth is very different from what you might expect. Long Horse is a good creature, an immortal guardian that tries to head off tragedy. Those who pay heed to Long Horse's warning tend to avoid the impending accident that otherwise would have taken their lives. Those who don't, well, their bodies will be found shortly after. Long Horse doesn't only warn about accidents either. It tries to guide people away from dangerous creatures, malicious humans, and one very special type of monstrous creature, siren heads.
Everything on this channel gotta do with siren head, I swear to... If I see Long Horse pull up in a room...
Vicious, amoral hunter of humans who uses its voice to lure them into isolation or madness, where it will finally attack them.
That scared me.
There have been accounts of Siren Head seen fighting Long Horse several times in history. Sometimes Long Horse will win, driving away Siren Head and keeping the people alive.
That boy got an infinite neck. If you don't wrap around his neck.
Siren Head will defeat Long Horse, forcing the Protector to watch as it eats its intended target. But because Long Horse is peaceful and protective, it would rather retreat with Siren Head's target rather than fight. Long Horse will do everything in its power to keep people from entering the hunting ground. It'll struggle to the point where it'll even wrap the person up and drag them away from the hunting ground. The person may become injured from being hauled physically away, but they almost always live, having been pulled out of Siren Head's range.
Dude,
Long Horse can move and extend to what appears to be a near infinite range. The end of its body always vanishes into darkness, with no visible endpoint. The creature understands that its appearance is frightening, and will use that fact to help guide people away from its domain. People tend to hear Long Horse long before they see it, mainly by the clicking motion of its spinal cord. Unlike the spine of a regular horse, Long Horse's spine, it's quite menacing and instantly draws the attention of those nearby. By contorting its body, Long Horse can change the volume and quality of the sound it produces when popping its spine. Another way to tell the creature is nearby is by its scent. For some reason, Long Horse produces a smell that is similar to spiced cinnamon. This tends to have a calming effect upon those who are panicked, which improves their chances of survival by allowing to think more rationally. When a person realizes Long Horse's intentions and decides to listen to its warning, things become a lot easier. Long Horse will move from shadow to shadow and emerge ahead of the person, giving them a direction to follow that will guide them away from.
Am I supposed to follow Long Horse? Am I supposed to run away from it? Because like what I'm hearing is it's trying to save me from danger, but what I'm seeing is a big old skeleton thing that smell like cinnamon and onions, okay? I'm just saying, I'm gonna run away from that. So I might run to the danger zone. I might run away from the danger. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
Presumably because the creature can either see everything around it perfectly or has the ability to see ahead into the future.
Huh?
Following the creature, listening to the sounds produced by its body, and smelling the calming, spiced scent. In most scenarios, this will guide a person out of danger.
Okay,
Again,
I like that.
the only exception is during a siren head attack. Something about the creature can throw off Long Horse's ability to guide a person to safety.
Yeah,
That's why the creature will actually...
The boy over there like...
It is possible to attack the Long Horse, though killing it outright is impossible. One can scatter its bones through sheer blunt force, forcing it to pull itself back together. By the time it does so, the intended victim would have time to get away. Though doing so would mean ignoring the Long Horse's warnings and running headlong into the arms of death.
I mean, that's okay.
Taking the bones would potentially be troublesome, since Long Horse will be unable to move.
If you see that Long Horse, you ain't telling me you ain't gonna go out regardless? Like, I'm just telling you, heart attack. Heart attack. I see a Long Horse, I'm walking down the street.
Move normally without its full complement of spinal bones. The missing bone will vibrate and try to escape the grip or confinement holding it. If it fails to do so, it will eventually crumble into fragments and Long Horse will regrow the missing part. This is a time-consuming process and won't complete in time to rescue the intended victim. For this reason, completely destroying Long Horse's body is only a temporary hindrance, as every bone will eventually regenerate. Long Horse can even summon more bones from the darkness from which it emerges in order to recover fully. It is a time-consuming process, however. Long Horse will protect humans from danger, even those humans who choose to attack it. It will not defend itself. Its very appearance means that something is going wrong in the system. Basically, a very primitive but effective warning device.
Nah. Alright, y'all, and the last video we're gonna check out is also by Clark. Make sure you guys check him out, links in the description below. And this is called The Story of Long Horse's Evil Twin. So this is what you would expect Long Horse to be, and I think this is gonna give us a lot more detail about Long Horse and all that. So hey, let's check out Long Horse's Evil Twin.
Long Horse's story has been talked about in the lonely roads of Louisiana for a few decades now. There's been many vehicle accidents that have gone unexplained, with mysterious dents, claw marks, and odd footprints next to the almost trampled looking bodies of those who lost their lives. It was only recently where there were enough survivors to put name to the deeds. Long Horse. The fateful afternoon in question, as day bled into night, saw a group of young students encounter Long Horse, barely escaping with their lives. The students had all signed up for a tour of southern colleges, being transported from school to school via bus. As their bus pulled into a rest stop for refueling and letting the driver get a break.
Bro, what's with all these flashes, these images,
dog?
I don't mess with that.
A few students claimed they saw a horse's head sticking out a nearby bush. The horse was odd in looks and behavior, having almost translucent looking skin.
Bro, that
no
thing
hair,
huge.
and beady eyes.
No way you can't
From
see
the
that.
bush, the horse just stared at all the students. It didn't move, nor did it make any sound. Eventually, one student tossed a few apple slices at the base of the bush in front of the horse's head. After a moment, it finally moved. In an odd movement, its head lowered and started chewing the apple. When it was finished, its head retreated and...
I thought it didn't have a jaw. How's it eating that thing? It only got the top of his mouth and a neck. Unless the boy went and scooped that bad boy up. Somebody lying. And I'm gonna figure out...
The bus then finished refueling, and soon everyone was on the bus and moving on to their next destination. Now, according to the students, The incident didn't start until a little later, when it all started with repeated knocking on the side of the bus. At first, it was a few tapes against the side and scrapes. The bus driver, when interviewed later, remarked that he thought it was just him brushing against the overgrown branches. The bus was a big one, and he was used to the coarse noise. But he picked up the pace. He noticed that the banging was getting louder and louder, even during stretches of time where there were no trees. Finally, the knocking was loud enough and forceful enough to actually begin moving the bus in an opposite direction. When the driver looked into his side mirror, he saw a vague shape that trailed off into the distance, slamming itself into the back end of the bus.
Bro, what is
Afraid
that?
to slow down, the driver warned all the anxious students to close the windows and to get into their seats. Again, when the students on the left side of the bus got up to close the windows in the back, that was when they saw it. It was the skull of a horse, and it was weaving in the air after them and slamming itself into the bus. The lower jaw was missing, but the head was still connected somehow to a long serpent-like neck.
Questions?
The student screamed, and that spurred the horse on, slamming itself harder and harder until one of the windows broke. The impact caused the bus to skid and slammed into a nearby tree, knocking everyone to the ground as the driver groaned, having hit his head on the wheels of the bus.
Go round and round.
When questioned another student who was near the back,
the
bus had shut down, including the lights inside, and as everyone laid on the ground, groaning from accident,
like the baby
another sound joined them, a deep, rapsy ning. When the student looked up, he saw the weird horse skull enter the bus through the window, floating in the air near the ceiling of the bus.
Well, I thought Long Horse was good.
Moving more and more into the bus. The students trembled and continued the story of what happened. A few students had freaked out seeing the ghastly sight and ran for the doors of the bus. They made it outside the bus and were running down the road.
Look at that boy
The
neck.
horse snake-like thing suddenly stilled and then rapidly reversed itself out the window. He remembers hearing the sound of hearing galloping and the screams of fleeing students and a large
it only has a neck, doesn't it? How can it gallop with only a neck?
Was silent. The driver eventually got his bearings together and was able to get the bus moving again. Driving further down the road, the rest of the class found the remains of the fleeing students. It looked like they had been both trampled and crushed to death. Their lower jaws missing. The bus itself, when getting to the next city, was revealed to have long scores of scratches and dents covering the whole vehicle. When the police came to the road, the student and the driver claimed the bodies were. They couldn't find any of the victims' bodies or signs of a bus accident anywhere.
I thought nobody got hurt.
It was eventually ruled that the students were playing a prank and they were lectured sternly about making false police reports. The bus driver was fired for playing along and even damaging the bus due to reckless driving. The missing students were labeled runaways and were never heard from again. Cars occasionally still show up with weirdly shaped dents, and bodies are occasionally found trampled to death.
Okay, bet. Y'all talking about a prank. Y'all talk about a prank. Who want to throw their hands first, bro? Is it you? Is it you? I think we heard it all, man. That was the story of Long Horse, who was actually a protector or a guardian or something like that. And then an evil Long Horse. We don't know. That could be a fan fiction for all we know. But all I know is y'all need to check out my boy Clark. Links in the description below. And hey, let me know what you guys think about Long Horse. And if there's anything I'm missing that I need to know about Long Horse, please let me know down in the comment section below. I miss you all so big time, man. I hope you guys are ready for this new content on the channel. I'm super excited to be bringing it to you guys. And with all that being said, action's back in the building, baby. Like I said, make sure you guys check out my music, all my music stuff as well on the channel. I need all the support possible on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. The more support you guys show, the faster we'll drop caution. And with all that being said, hope you guys subscribe, turn on notifications if you're new. And yeah, comment hashtag NextLevelUnited. And I'll see you guys in the next one. 10,000 likes? that's too high. Let's go for 3,000 likes, y'all. Let's go for 3,000 likes. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, bye-bye, and subscribe.
Take you a pic on the art for the gallery. I don't play by the rules, I make them. Every single day I'm causing mayhem. Set the laws, I'ma disobey them. Photo next, then they necklace take 'em. You a little boy, the me go tame 'em. I ain't got the time to entertain 'em. Try to run up on me, know you're gainer. This ain't route that you want.